Hello everybody and welcome to today's show, Banter Blitz, Friday night. Always exciting to do one before I go to the movies. Friday night is my movie night. I'm going to go watch The Big Short tonight, which I'm very excited about. It's apparently not a Nigel Short documentary, but a movie about the stock market or housing market crash of 2008, was it? Lost a lot of money back then, and it seems like it's all Brad Pitt's fault. So I'll keep you posted on how that is going. Else, yeah, we're gonna get started with the show in a minute. Oh, I think my face is all messed up, but can't have everything. What was I gonna talk about? Yeah, it's Banter Blitz time. Challenge me to a game of 3 minutes or 5 minutes, and we're gonna play. Before I get started, there is one horrible, sad news which I heard about yesterday, which I briefly wanted to bring up. Markus Keller, the director of the Chess Center Baden-Baden, the club I play for in the Bundesliga, passed away, which is incredible. He was only, I believe, 51 years old, and yeah, I don't know what happened. Apparently he returned from holidays and had a stroke. It's just very, very sad news for everyone who knew him. I didn't know him well, but he was one of these guys. You were just always happy to see him, to have him around, so it's a big, big loss for the chess community, and it's just shocking news, and really, I don't know what to say. Just wanted to bring it up briefly. Yeah. Anyway, let's play a bunch of chess games, and even though, yeah, that is sad news, I still will crush you all. There is no choice we got, and let's see. Oh, what was this? Oh, this is a test game or something. See, I won some elo in that game. Whom do we start with? I don't even know. A lot of challenges, which is great. People are asking for no spoilers. Didn't see either Mad Max, nor Revenant, nor Star Wars. Come on, Schacho, that can't be my problem at some point. Revenant is recent, but Mad Max has been out forever, and it's hard to spoil that movie. They're all good, though. Star Wars, eh. Anyway, let's get started. I'm gonna warm up by crushing Moriarty. That's not the Sherlock Holmes villain, is it? Moriarty feels like there's one I too many, but I'm no good at spelling, so I don't really know. And he plays the, what do we call this, the Chigorin, knight c6? It's a playable opening, not the greatest of openings, but it is one that doesn't lose. After knight c3, the best black move is e6, when after ct, ed, bishop f4. I always thought white's life was easy, and he's a little better without having to really study all that much, so I'm pleased with it. It's a Karlsbad structure where this knight is misplaced on c6. Of course, black is going to try to do something about it, ideally maneuver it to a better square later on. But overall, I always thought this was pleasant. Bishop d6, the easiest way to play is just to go bishop g3. There's other options, but I'd go bishop g3. And yeah, I'm reasonably comfortable here. There's other moves like knight f6, then e3, bishop e2. But overall, I do not think the Chigorin is such a great opening, or even poses that many practical problems. There's other lines like 3 knight c3 that might be objectively more challenging, but you can just do the stuff I'm doing here and get a slight advantage without really being all that challenged. I'm not sure about bishop e2. Bishop h4 is always interesting in these positions after black went bishop d6, trying to cash in immediately. But nothing wrong with developing some pieces once in a while. Moriarty taking his time here. Are we playing a 5-minute game? Sometimes I forget the time control, especially in the first game, and then end up with like 1 minute or something, but not gonna happen this time around. Still 4 minutes 39, I've been fast. Moriarty in deep thought here. I'm not sure what he should do. He probably shouldn't do this move. I don't get the point of knight b4. I'll just go a3, and I don't see anything better than returning. Knight to a6 is his idea, but that's not really a good square. And greedy as I am, I feel like going for pawns with queen b3. But yeah, that maneuver, knight b4, knight a6, wasn't very successful. Black should do something about his knight from c6, but he should put it on e7 and try to go c6 if he wants to regroup it on a6. Not the happiest of campers. And now, yeah, there's problems. I'm not sure what to advise. Probably rook b8 is the smallest of evils, just defending this pawn on b7. That's not a very pleasant position because his knight is just badly placed. Queen d6. I am greedy. I think I won't be bluffed and I'm gonna take on b7. Point is, this knight is under attack, so rook b8 doesn't trap my queen, even though it might look like it at first sight. Only thing I have to do is after bishop f3 go gf3, and now bishop takes when rook b8 would indeed win the queen. But yeah, this doesn't seem to work. Maybe queen b6 is the best chance when after queen a6 he has queen b2 with a double attack, but I can't just go bishop takes a6. So things aren't looking good for Moriarty. We shall see. Yeah, as I said, I don't think it's Professor Moriarty. That's without the I, right? Or am I confused about it? I don't have time to look it up. Please let me know. I'm not the biggest student of Sherlock, but I've seen a bunch of these. What's the BBC series? Bunch of these episodes with Cumberbatch and what's the other guy called? Martin Freeman? I think it's Martin Freeman. And they're pretty good. There was a good actor playing Moriarty. I'm very bad at pronouncing that word. But I guess I read some of this, what's his name, Arthur Conan Doyle stuff as a kid, but I can't really recall all that much. I don't even know, was Sherlock Holmes, was he doing cocaine or heroin, or both? I have a lot of unanswered questions about Mr. Holmes. Now there's a new movie. I'm not talking about the game much anymore because I'm just a piece up and I will manage. But there's a new movie, The Real Sherlock Holmes, or Mr. Holmes or something, with the guy who played Gandalf, right? Anyway, Moriarty, who's probably not connected to Sherlock Holmes at all, does resign and we're gonna get a new game. This is, I don't know, my last Banter Blitz 4. I'll try to sneak one in, but for a while because I'll be very busy. Tomorrow Vikings is starting. I'm excited about that. I'm going to commentate that the first 2 days with Fiona Style Anthony. Then Arthur Yusupo is going to come to the studio. I'm going to record 1 or 2 series with him. Then Peter Svidler is coming and will comment. I keep using commentate. That's not really a word. Do commentary or comment. But it's very tempting to use commentate, which doesn't exist. And I think I promised Mr. Shacho a game, who's been waiting for many shows apparently. He likes to brag that he won. Did he win 2? It says my score is 7-2. I don't know. It's shameful. So let's crush him. Let's see what's going on. Schacho from Germany. Doesn't watch any movies. Doesn't study any opening theory. But he still won a couple of games against me apparently. And let's see if he's watched the Vienna series, wants to know what's up here. He has apparently. But I'm not sure if he's made it to the last chapter, which is Queen A4 check. This is the very last video, and I just feel he's probably stuck somewhere in the middle. So let's go for this one, which is a very decent sideline. The best, in my opinion, is C6, Queen C4, B5. But it's not clear-cut, and I wasn't quite sure what to give there. I think I gave a good line against it. But I have a feeling I might have caught him off guard here. Knight bd7, e4 is also very interesting, but I think that slightly favors white. So c6 is probably the way to go. And then you have to know what to do. We'll find out. It's Sir Ian McKellen. Is that the dude who played Gandalf? I think that's the dude who played Gandalf. And Memento. What a career. Hope I'm not mixing him up with someone. Coup de Grace asks if I'll be a second to Peter Svidler. I don't think so, but I'm friends with Svidler and he's going to be around whenever I can help him. I certainly will, but I don't think I'll have any official capacity. Knight c6, that's a move I've never seen, I have to admit. What do I do about it? Probably just take here. Might be more ambitious alternatives like knight e5 or e4. But taking looks alright when the best black can do, I would guess, is go knight b4, threatening a check, queen b3 and c5. But it should also be pleasant for white. Goes bishop d7. I have to take a little care that I don't blunder my queen after some knight a5. But it doesn't look like I do, so I think I can go e4. And if knight a5, queen e2 or queen d3, which should be pleasant. Bishop b4, once again, I should not blunder my queen. But I'm not after bishop d3, if I'm not mistaken. Nope. He can try queen e7, threatening knight a5, so I'm very conscious of the idea, but I don't think it's there yet. And he plays a6, which looks a little slow. I'll just castle, and after b5, queen b3. White should be seriously better. Castles, which is legal, but now there's many tempting moves. e5 is one of them, and yeah, that's tempting enough. Bishop g5 was also tempting, but I like this one. He can't go knight d5, or I would lose a pawn at the very least. Bishop c3, ef6 looks good. After b5, I'll just go queen b3. If the knight is to go to e8, it's just a sad position for black. So let's see what happens. It's probably going to go knight e8 when I have to make up my mind. But there's many tempting options. Probably not the time to go all crazy with bishop h7 and knight g5 yet, even though even that is interesting. I'll think about it when we get there. It looks pretty tempting, actually. I might do it. You might see me sacrifice material. First time in my long and illustrious chess career. Let's calculate a little bit. Knight e8, bishop h7, king h7, knight g5, king g8, queen d3. If g6, queen h3 wins. If f5, queen h3 also wins. And if rook e8, that's the question. Queen h7, king f8, king 8, queen h8, king e7, and I don't see a mate, which is unfortunate. So probably I'm not gonna be able to do it if he goes knight e8. He does go knight e8. Well, there wasn't much choice, so I should do something else. So sad. I love to go bishop h7. I'll check once again. Check, king g8, queen d3. Rook e8 is not a legal move for starters. There goes my deep calculation. There was what attracted me. So let's think about the other lines. Nah, you know what? Let's just do it. It's probably the only way I can lose the game, but what the heck. I was thinking about king g6 here, but then queen d3, f5, queen g3 looks like a version that should be very, very good. And here after I realized that rook e8 was not legal, I thought this was winning, but you never know. I'm a little embarrassed. I spent like 1 minute on calculating the illegal rook e8 move. You can't have two pieces in one square. Schacho decides to soldier on, but it's not very exciting anymore. He only has 2 pieces for the queen, plus he will get checkmated. So there's a couple problems, if I don't blunder. Knight e4 looks pretty good, doesn't it? Threatening a little check here. Yeah, it's game. Schacho seems like a nice guy, but he was talking a bit of trash, so he earned his way into this cruel and well-deserved punishment. You can see I've boosted my rating a little bit. I played some non-Banter Blitz. Normally the only Blitz I play really these days is the Banter Blitz, but I feel like I'm underrated. I'm old, but I'm not that old, and I see all these kids being higher rated than me on the side. It's not right. Gotta stand up for the grumpy old man. Come on, Schacho, resign. I will checkmate you. and I'm a queen up. And he does resign, he does listen to the show. Thanks for the game. Schacho. Whom else shall we play? Let's play Peter Pan. 23-12. That's always the worst opponents, like rating-wise, because if I win, I only win a point or two, but he's a qualified chess player. So it's the same in real life. You don't want to play with, if you're like me, like 26, whatever rated, you don't want to play the 2300s with black, because you win very little, but they can't play chess, and it's a tricky spot. He plays the good old Italian game, and just to spice it up a little, I'll go knight f6. Normally, my main move is bishop c5. Knight f6, knight g5. I'm not completely convinced of its merits for black, objectively. But after bishop c5, there's a bunch of very boring lines, which you can avoid with this move order. This h6, once again, is slightly borderline, but it's not terrible, and the plan is just to keep as many pieces as possible on the board by going g6, bishop g7, short castles. And we shall see. I've played it once or twice. I don't think it's the best system. Objectively, the best is just to play bishop c5, and there's many ways to equalize, in my opinion. But sometimes you want to keep some more pieces on the board, and this line serves that purpose. Now we have some weird... I don't even know what to compare the structure with. It's not really a King's Indian. It's more like a d3 Spanish, really. Like d3. No, like a Berlin knight f6, d3, d6 Spanish. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. Once again, here black has many choices. Knight h5, knight a5. I think this is probably the correct move. He's going to go bishop b5, and I'm going to do all the Spanish moves. a6, b5, c5, and we get a pretty normal position where my bishop is quite well placed on g7. So yeah, very standard stuff. Not sure who's better and why. It's typical Chigorin idea to go a6, b5, c5, knight a5, then bring the knight back to c6. And big question is always, when should black go d5 and when should white go d4? It's not an easy answer to those questions, but now after knight sees bishop e3, I don't think he's in time to go d4 anytime soon, because first I'm keeping some contact to the e4 square, and I might have some ideas with knight b4 as well, should he do it. So I think it's a good time to bring my knight back, go king h7 to not blunder this pawn, and see what happens. The bishop, of course, attacks c5, so it's not that easy to go d5 for me. Rook a1 is a strange move, hinting at d4, but I'm not sure he wants to go d4 really, and I will hint at bishop takes a2, which I'm also not sure I really want to do. a3. Time to do something constructive. Now all the standard moves are exhausted, and I need to think of doing something. I'd like to go knight d7, but then d4 could be an issue. I don't know what to do. I'll make random moves. Not sure if this is the right square. Knight h2 is another short of standard Spanish move, even though I'm not sure about its merits here, because you can't follow it up with knight g4. So I guess he wants to go f4 with a complicated position. Also, it seems like this is a 3-minute game. g4, really? Seems like this is a 3-minute game, so there's not that much time to talk nonsense. We're both sort of low on time already. And I will up the stakes a little bit by going d5 now that I've defended the c5 pawn. It's a little risky because my king could get into some hot waters. I should probably take and go knight e4 or something, but gotta do it. f4, I don't believe this should weaken his king more than my king. f4, sorry, not f5. f5 I also don't believe. And this looks like I can take material, which I like. Bit of panic there after bishop e5. But black was better. He should have taken on e5, knight e5, and it's very unpleasant with the king on g1. Well, now he probably has to try queen g2 or whatnot, but I'll just keep taking pieces, and I think I'll end up with more pieces than white, which is nice. just take whatever, and if my count is not wrong, I do have 2 more pieces than him after this exchange. So things went well, and Peter Pan decides to call it a day. Captain Hook wins again, just like in the movie. Who else we got? Let's give apparently a new member a chance. Guy called... Oops, that's just a blank screen. We don't want that. Guy called Binbo Avatonic. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I don't think he's played a game yet, so this is always a scary situation. He could be a 2800 player, or he could be a ranked beginner. I don't know, and I've pushed my luck even further by going for the highly risky move 1e4. Goes g6, which is interesting. Many playable lines here, I think. c3 is slightly better. c4 is slightly better. I have a soft spot for this line with d4 and queen takes, which is probably not objectively best, but I kind of like it. Of course, knight takes would also be possible, then black could transpose to a dragon. But yeah, I have some sympathy for this stuff, which might be a tiny white edge, even though it's not special. Knight c3 is not the only move. e5 is possible there, bishop b5 has been tried. But yeah, I like going for this. Queen a4, and the point is after d6, white goes e5. And d takes e, knight takes e5, then bishop d7, knight d7, white is slightly better. Queen d4 is probably best, but it's a slightly better endgame for white. So we'll see how that goes. Does Peter Pan win in the movie? I guess he wins, right? Hook is the bad guy. I've seen this Hook movie with Robin Williams as a kid. Is it Robin Williams? Probably. As a kid, it's probably a lie. Probably I was like 19, but it was a crappy movie, right? Maybe it's Dustin Hoffman. I got all my Peter Pan movies mixed up. There's a new movie out, right? Pan? Is it called Pan? It's also supposed to be terrible. I haven't seen it. I've seen The Revenant. The Revenant was nominated for like 12 Oscars, which is ridiculous. Like, it's a beautifully shot movie, but it's really not good. It's strange. Bishop g7, I believe, is supposed to be wrong because of e5. But now I'm out of book, so I'm going to have to start thinking. And as we know, not my forte. Not sure about bishop f4 already. Maybe it was better to bring the queen back into the center of the game. But bishop f4 looks natural enough. Developing a piece, defending this dude. How bad can it be? Black should probably go knight h6, followed by short castles. With, yeah, complicated position. I guess white is better. He's lost some time and I've gained some space, but very alien, this type of position to me. So not 100% sure. And yeah, DiCaprio is gonna win the Oscar for The Revenant. I have pretty much zero doubts about it, but I don't think it's a good movie and I hope it doesn't win a bunch of other Oscars, which might very well happen, but I just don't think it deserves best movie and best director and all that stuff. What DiCaprio did is an impressive accomplishment, but mainly he suffered a lot in making the movie without, spoiling too much. It's a very physical, macho type of job that he did, but I don't know, I didn't like the movie. Probably a more masculine player would have gone for long castles, but I like my king on the same side as his king, so he can't attack it, which, no big objective reasoning behind it. It goes d5, which is a bit of a surprise. Might be the best move, but it's a bit of a surprise because now he ends up with an isolated pawn. Still, black is clearly not the 1500 player I was hoping he would be, but a very qualified chess player, so I have to pay attention. He's been slow, which is good, because plan B really is my plan A normally. And rook d1. I thought bishop g4, bishop e2 is not a big deal when I would counterattack d6 and eliminate this option of bishop takes f3, but now that it's on the board, I'm tempted to try to win a piece with bishop takes h6. Bishop f3, bishop g7. If I'm not mistaken, the body count favors me in the end. It does, right? I'm really bad at counting, but bishop f3, bishop g7, bishop d1, bishop f8. I have a feeling I took more of his pieces than he took of my pieces, which is always good. So yeah, he can try to sacrifice a piece, bishop f3, bishop g7, king g7, gf, but It's not going to be enough counterplay against my poor king to justify a whole piece. It's an easy move to miss because you think you're threatening bishop f3, but these things sometimes happen. Yeah, Binbo Avatonic is in real big trouble. Too late to even call 911. It's time to stop the clocks. Being told to stick with the suits as I stick with the openings. Yeah, I have this New Year's resolution to go with less ties, but I always feel so naked not wearing a tie nowadays. It's really sick how old I've gotten. I didn't even own a tie until I was like 30, I guess. Now, I feel I always have to put on a tie. It's a hard knock life. First world problems. Tie or no tie. Pocket square or no pocket square. How much of it to show? The world is tough. Ambitious pawn, watch The Wire. Everyone should watch The Wire. Watch it twice, actually. Nah, Mr. Robot is not that good. I think it's a little overrated. It's an alright show, but the hype. I was very excited about the first couple episodes, but then it sort of jumped off a cliff a little bit for me. 95, I'm torn. I could go queen f4, then he has this cute tactic, queen g5 check, or queen h4, but it only leads to a losing endgame because I am a piece up, so I'll do it. But there were other moves, but I was too lazy to, or too scared to allow counterplay, like f4, knight f3 check, whatever. Can't work, but why allow it if I can bring my queen to the rescue? Queen g5 check is cute, but it's not gonna save the day. Queen b6. I can do anything at Zombocom. And I don't like giving back pawns, so I shall keep this guy. He really wants a pawn back. Alright, you can have one pawn. If you take the a2 pawn, we can all be happy. I don't have to sacrifice a pawn. I'm gonna win on time, and I'm gonna be a piece up. So let's count this as 2 wins. Good game though by Binbo Avatonic, take my word for it. He's gonna push his rating up quite a bit. One more. My movie starts at 9, so I'll play till, I usually do around 90 minutes, till 8:30ish. I have to go all the way there. Let's play against Chess Player. See what happens. What's going on in the chat? Magnus Simmel in February in Hamburg? I'm guessing we're not doing it, right? I'm not very well informed. Or is it us? Maybe it is us. Like, I have no idea. And stop by Schacho. You might get a Chess 24 cup. We sell them at like fair prices, like 80 euros a cup, I believe. But some of them are signed by Sopico. No, seriously, stop by and we'll get you a cup. And people who don't know The Wire should really stop watching this show right now. And sit through 5 seasons of The Wire. You need a bit of patience to make it through season 2, but it's worth it. And season 3 and 4 is really the best thing ever done on TV, in my highly qualified opinion. Chess Player is not around, so we're gonna abort this one. Sorry, Chess Player. Let's find someone else. Mr. Rodanos. Also a dude I've never played, even though I've been prioritizing guys I've never played for a while, and it's rightly been pointed out by Schacho and others that I should also be nice to the regulars who've been around for a while, so I've given up on that policy. And the new policy is I have no policy. I play whomever I feel like clicking on. Another thing I don't really do is I don't choose high-rated or low-rated opponents. I try to have a bit of a mix, but it's normally not a big criteria. I've been thinking if we should start doing some shows where I only play against high-rated guys or against low-rated guys. I'm not sure. he goes g3, the Catalan. I've done this video series about bishop e7, which I've been playing recently to promote my video series, but I'm feeling more greedy and I'll go for the alternative dc4. When bishop g2, a6, I explained in the series I don't fully trust it for black, but at least it's very interesting. White doesn't get his pawn back immediately. One practical problem is instead of bishop g2, queen a4 check is annoying. a4 is not supposed to be critical. It stops b5, but if white castles instead of a4, I will play knight c6 anyway, because b5 is a little too risky for my blood. And yeah, a4 also weakens some squares. Sometimes knight a5 is an option, sometimes you can put something on b4, and sometimes you can just play rook b8 in order to follow it up with b5 and hang on to this pawn. A lot of pressure on Rodanos to reclaim his pawn. I believe the best move here is probably a5. Looks a bit strange, but stopping me from expanding so easily on the queen side. Because now, if I'm not horribly mistaken, I can get away with playing b5. It's one point of going rook b8 to move this rook out of this diagonal. I'm a little concerned about knight takes b5, rook b5, queen a4, but I'll start worrying about it once we get there. Point would be queen a4, rook b6, knight e5, and this knight on c6 is under attack. So it could be an idea. Bishop g5 is an alright move, but I can just develop and unpin, so not that worried yet. But this knight b5, it can't really work, but it's sort of intriguing. I can't see an obvious refutation. Even now, knight b5, queen a4 is interesting. Now the option is gone, because after e3 I can castle away. And I'm still a pawn up. White always has some compensation, even if he plays whatever, b3 here. But I'm not sure if I've ever brought up this topic. Pawn is a pawn, and I'm more comfortable being a pawn up than a pawn down, as I believe many people are. Oh, I've watched some Tatortreiniger, as I promised. But yeah, we're gonna discuss that in the German show. It's alright, like I didn't get obsessed with it, but it's funny, so yeah, nah, it was funny. I'll try to win the queen. And yeah, white's compensation for the pawn is not really there anymore, so that's the risk of the Catalan's dc4, but then again white can just go queen a4 if he doesn't know what he's doing in these sharper lines, when it's very hard for black to generate play. I'll go bishop b7, knight b5 doesn't work because of bishop f3, so all my pieces are alive and functioning, and I'm a pawn up. He goes b3, many tempting options. One is bishop e4 to meet bc with bishop d3. Another one would be to just take. Both look pretty good. I'll take. If knight b5, I can still cash in with bishop a6. And as a bonus, I still have this pawn. Well, queen b5, this bishop f3. So, not sure. Might be too late to offer good advice. Queen b2. Once again, many options. I'll go for the greediest one. And just defend this guy. So many options. I probably missed like a forced win here, but king g1 is not very critical because I can take the bishop. He had to go knight f3 back, but okay, I'm more or less winning. And Rodanos resigns. Who's next? What about Mr. Tex-Mex? This challenges window now always blocks the name. Not much I can do about it. Let's play Tex-Mex. What is Tex-Mex? I know it's some sort of food, but I don't really know what it is. Is it nachos? What is Tex-Mex? Tex-Mex 22. We will never know. And yeah, why season 5 isn't as good as the previous seasons, which is true. Like they had to cut it from, I think they were planning 15 episodes and they had to cut it to 10 for whatever reasons. So it was a bit rushed and the topic is less exciting. Like I said, 3 and 4 is the best stuff ever done. Season 5 is still very good, but it's like a Godfather 3 situation. Godfather 3 is still a good movie, but it doesn't compare to Godfather 1 and 2. Just like it doesn't compare to Tex-Mex actually being here. Also some talk about Dexter. I've watched like the first maybe 4 seasons and then I got bored of the guy. Like, how much story can you get out of this character? I don't know. Abort. Let's play another terribly strong opponent who might crush me. Jordan van Forest, an international master from the Netherlands. I thought he was a grandmaster. Isn't he a grandmaster? Maybe we just have to change his title on Chess24. Pretty sure he's underrated. I don't think he plays much here. So I'm going to have to focus. Also a 3-minute game, exploiting my need to talk while playing. And he's jumped on the London system bandwagon. Knight d2 in this move order. I'm not sure. Normally they either go c3 here or knight d2 and c3. This move order I'm not 100% sure about. Now after e6 is queen b3 a problem? Could be a bit of a problem. Scares me enough to avoid it. I'm not sure if this is right. Jordan found a move order I'm not that in tune with, which maybe Kramnik played it recently. Because queen b3 anyway. I thought my point was that now it's less dangerous because I can go knight a5. I guess he should go queen c2, tending to go knight e5, and the battle for nuances continues. Oh, it's a 3-minute game. I should talk less and make more moves. Already low on time. There's a move for you. A little scared I might get crushed here after queen a4, b5, bishop b5, but I couldn't see it. ab, queen b5, knight d7, and I didn't see a finishing blow. And now he goes bishop d3 when we get a more normal position. Just get some pieces out. Now I'm fine. Without the light square bishops, there's no real strategic problems for black here. Not claiming I'm better, but it's just a normal position with no real problems. He should probably go bishop g5 at some point. And yeah, it's just a position. Do I go knight c4 immediately? Not sure, but why not? Could also have played a more normal move like... whatever, many normal moves. But black is reasonably comfortable here, so I'm not complaining too much. I'll take a little care after b3. I'm not 100% sure if I want to take on e5 or not. I'll delay that decision for a move and play rook c8. Also not sure if this is the right square for the rook, but yeah, you could make a case for so many different moves. And I think he's mainly making random moves quickly, which is a valid strategy, of course. I shall do the same thing. Let's start the scary minority attack. Hope I didn't blunder a pawn starting my scary minority attack, but he's not interested in the pawn. I wasn't sure about cb, followed by b3. Well, now I should be extremely comfortable. But once again, it's a 3-minute game. I'm gonna have to speed up. Rook e3, bc, bc, then just queen a5, I guess. c4, rook c4, rook e4, cute. Then give me the other pawn. Or hang on, is there something better? I don't know, let's take. Pawn is a pawn, yeah. Not obviously winning, but of course it's white who's fighting for a draw. Problem is he's probably successfully fighting for a draw if I keep it up the way I am. Yeah, I've messed this up. Rook c5. Brazen. To blunder into a draw. Doesn't want to draw. I'm gonna have to speed up, so sorry. I'm gonna shut up and speed up. Drama. But yeah, I was better going into the ending than after mutual blundering around. I went for plan B and it worked, which I'm always thrilled. But in fairness, I'm also getting a queen. So interesting game there against Jordan, very strong player from the Netherlands. What are we talking about in the chat? Dexter. Dexter's kind of, yeah. Who can watch that for 9 seasons or however many they did? Looks like we've moved on a little bit, and we can also keep the show going. I asked what Tex-Mex was. A lot of shows are being discussed. Fargo is very good. I haven't seen season 1, but I've watched season 2, which was great. This is still season 1. I have a feeling I've done a million of these Banter Blitz shows, but I recently changed the numbers on YouTube. Of course, I prefer if you watch them on Chess24, but there's only 19 on YouTube, so maybe it's not a million quite yet. Let's keep playing strong players for now. Let's play against Quentin Fontaine. 2413. 2413? 2413. Where's he from? Is he Belgium? Yeah, Belgium. 5-minute game should give us some more time to talk about crap. D5, D4. Let's see if he's also a Vienna. Everyone's gonna play the Vienna against me. It's my video series, guys. Okay, let's see what you got. Can't play Queen A4 check every game. Don't know which line to choose. I'll go for the pawn sacrifice just to entertain us. And he's maybe pre-moved C5, expecting me to go bishop G5. The good news for him is I don't know what to do after C5. The bad news is it's probably not a good move. The critical has to be knight takes E4, which, yeah, I've dedicated a lot of space to in my series. And yeah, I'm not sure about C5. I could just castle when all versions of taking the pawn should be worse than the one. Maybe that's better than E5, what I did. But we shall find out. Now knight D5. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Probably just bishop D2. With sort of a normal position. Goes CD4. Really out for blood. Can this work? I'll just recapture for now. And then a typical Vienna topic that Queen A4 check might be a bit of a nuisance in some lines. So we'll see what's going on here. Knight E4. Stuff already becomes very sharp. Queen A4 check. Knight C6. Knight takes C6. Looks alright, doesn't it? Knight C3 doesn't quite work. Ugh, I'm gonna have to count. Queen A4, Knight C6, Knight C6, Knight C3. Promised Queen B4 runs into Knight D1 checkmate. So Knight takes D8, Knight A4 check. Now that doesn't work. Who knew? Or am I going nuts? Knight C6, Knight C3. Looks winning for white, but maybe it's not. B C3, Bishop C3, King E2. I wish I was a little bit smarter, then I could probably calculate such stuff, but I'm not, so I'm gonna bail out and play queen d3, which I'm not happy about, but couldn't figure it out. Queen a4 check, knight c6, what I was talking about, but important thing when you're playing a game of chess, you have to try to forget what happened earlier and just keep playing the position on board, which is probably still fine for me because, yeah, his pieces are a little uncoordinated on c5 and b4. So no reason to get all too whiny here. Knight c6, let's bring some new forces. The force awakens, the d1 rook. And long or midterm, I want to checkmate him on the king side. I'm not quite sure how to do it, but that is the plan. I guess I'll start by taking here. Where's the punishment? Queen g3 looks like an obvious way to proceed. And I'm a little concerned about bishop c3, but probably I shouldn't be. Knight e4, knight takes e4, queen c4. I'm thinking very slowly. I'll go here, which looks weird. Looks very weird, and probably it is weird. Normally if a move looks weird, it's because it's not very good, but I got annoyed by all kinds of knight e4 options. And I've played very slowly. Now he takes on c3, which is fair enough. I'll recapture with the queen. Could also make a case for bc, but it's time to take some decisions a bit more speedily because I've wasted a lot of time. And I'm still better, that's the good news. b6. Anticipating checkmate threats here, and I'm playing this, once again, slightly strange looking move, hopefully threatening bishop h6. A bit concerned about h5, which is a radical measure, but probably a good move, actually. Does it? Don't allow checkmate in one. That's always a very important thing in chess. Now the position became a lot more double-edged than I would have liked it to be because he managed to finish his development and got some pieces out. However, he gives me that pawn, and I really like pawns. What's his idea? Rook d1? It's probably rook d1. Okay, too complicated. Let's develop. With tempo. Sneaky, didn't see that. Could have seen that move on a good day, but I have very few good days. I don't like the trend of this game. I think I'm probably still better, but I don't like the trend. I'm missing too many things. Might be threatening b4 though. d5 now. Feels like it's time to finally take this dude. Threatening a little countermate, which he will probably parry. But if he went g6, then my rook goes back somewhere. Keeps playing that theme, that checkmate on g2 theme, and I keep missing it. Knight d3, interesting. Bishop d3, rook d3. Very sneaky dude, this Quentin Fontaine. Kind of want to checkmate him though. But how to do it? Ugh, I'm too slow. Nah, I can't see anything good. I've played this horribly. Apologies to myself. Yeah, I've sort of completely lost the thread. I don't know why. Now even f6 is a good move, possibly, but just knight takes b2 or whatnot. Things have not gone according to plan at all. So I'm going to have to speed up and hope for the best. I wish I played a little less terribly, but my position is no longer good, frankly. Now I'm steaming. I have a feeling I'm messing this up big time. Come on, Jan, hang in there. Rook is a rook, but I'm very low on time. Oof, drama. That was not a good game on my part, but yeah, after he gave me that rook, things turned around. Still, tough fight against Quentin Fontaine, who played very well, and yeah, honestly had the strong feeling I was going to lose that one at some point, because I kept missing stuff and playing slowly. Oof. Okay, I need a breather. So whoever is my next opponent, consider yourself offended, because I called you a breather. And Bogus, oh no, I think I clicked on someone else. I meant to click on Bogus Aurelius, but I clicked someone else. So I'll play Mr. Coolman, and then since I already mentioned him, I'll play Bogus next game, if Mr. Coolman is with us. There he is, goes knight f3, and what do? I'll go c5. I do all kinds of things against knight f3, d5, g6, d5, knight f6, e6, c5, whatever crosses my mind. Here the problem is with this move, where I normally end up in the symmetrical English after c4, which I don't really enjoy. I should study Niklas's series at some point. I think he's giving systems with e6, knight e7, which, yeah, I'm not really booked up in, but it looks like a very sensible way to develop. We'll see what Coolman has in mind. Tex-Mex is a musical style? Bishop f4, that's a strange move. Castles, maybe bishop d6 is annoying, so I'll go d6. Maybe I could just take on b2. I'm not sure if this is... Probably I should just take on b2 and not believe anything he says, but I did. Still punch drunk from Quentin Fontaine, who really pushed me to the limit. Shacho is talking about 90s commercial hip-hop. Be real, Coolio, Method Man, Busta Rhymes. That's the crap we grew up with. Knight c3, he doesn't give me a second chance. A good castle, but I'm slightly annoyed that then he would go. Queen d2, bishop h6, so I'll change my plan and go e5, but... In general, I've lost the threat in that last game, and I have a feeling I am struggling every day. I'm struggling. Tex-Mex is the Mexican food in the US, I see. But is Mexican food in the US Mexican food? Like, you can get a burrito on every street corner. Or is it like getting Chinese food in Germany, which is not authentic Mexican food? I don't know. While here we're playing one of these standard English positions, which I don't really enjoy or understand. Like, black is supposed to be fine all the time, but I never know what to do, and I always get my pieces all tangled up, and I have a feeling I'm gonna get outplayed by Mr. Coolman, who is a little lower rated than me, so it should not happen. but I have a feeling it does happen. What can you do? I'm gonna crush him though. And once again I get a strange feeling about my skills in the English. Always ends up this way, but I'm gonna somehow start an irresistible attack on the king side. Not sure how the position is. Probably I shouldn't have allowed bishop h3. That might have been a little careless. Started with queen d7. But what's done is done. This knight is also very far from doing anything good for the game. So yeah, f4 was actually kind of a bad move. After bishop h3, I'm probably in trouble. There he goes. Mr. Kuhlmann is also not playing like a 1500. Yeah, I'm worse. Bishop f5 is very unpleasant. Well, a5, that's a strange choice, but maybe a good move, I don't know. At least I can get rid of my dumb knight at the expense of opening the queen side, which I'm not too eager to do. But I had to get rid of that knight. So how do I do this? Could just go rook b7. Rook a5, rook b8, but I'm not sure if that's clever. a6 is also tempting, but I don't see a follow-up. After b6, then queen d8, rook fb1. I'm not sure if I'm getting anywhere. Now I'll go for some distractions on the other side of the board and see what happens. Complicated. Probably bishop e6 check and g4 is the way to go. He goes g4 immediately, but now at least the pieces are sort of locked up. A lot of tough games here. Not the breather I was hoping for. This guy plays like a very strong player. So no one's making it easy for me. And I like things being easy. It's like this Hateful Eight. I've only seen the trailer, but where they're saying nobody said this was gonna be easy, but nobody said it was gonna be all that hard either. Still, I will win on time, so I like the overall situation here, and I don't understand knight d2. I can grab a pawn, right? You know I like grabbing pawns. Nah, let's be humble. a5 might have been better, but I didn't want that pawn to become a target, so I'll just defend it very passively. Sometimes one has to be humble. Not my forte, but I have so many other fortes that humbleness can't be one of them either. That's as humble as I'm gonna get. Check. No check. Check or no check? Nah, no check. I'm mainly trying to win on time. I should probably make some good moves instead, but it's always so tempting to win on time. Now I might win on chess even. Here's one check, but I have a couple checks, so I beat Mr. Coolman, who played a very good game. And once again, gotta look up who that is. Who else we got? See, humbleness is not even a word. Humility, I should know that. But I am German, you're gonna have to forgive me. Since, yeah, the concept is so rare to me that I never even bothered to learn the word. Humility, humbleness. Not my thing. Still, thanks for pointing that out. I will keep it in mind and be more humble discussing my humility in the future. And I'll play Fradedi. I think I've tried to play Fradedi in the past and maybe he wasn't there. If he is there. Goes d4. What can I do? Maybe it's Grunfeld time. Every 100th game or something should be Peter Svidler reminisce game playing the Grunfeld, where I'm not really booked up. I believe Svidler likes bishop g7 here. This knight takes e4 is a very strange move, which I'm not very familiar with. I believe some strong players did it, and yeah, I never looked at it. Am I supposed to go c5? Sad thing is, I had a tournament game in this line once, and I still never bothered to look at it. But that's what happens sometimes. I'm assuming, probably queen b6 is wrong, probably I should just start with short castles. But I'm assuming stuff like this is more or less theoretical. And as far as I know, knight takes e4 was not supposed to be critical. But as I said, I'm not a Grunfeld regular. Svidler gives bishop g7 instead of knight e4 in his video series, but knight e4 is the main line, so it can't be terrible. And we have a strategically very rich position where I'm not sure who's better and why. I'm also not sure what to do, so I'll make moves. Promise, yeah, that's why I think I should have castled before starting these operations that now e7 was hanging, so I couldn't castle. Now I can, and I shall. I guess he's gonna castle, and then I'm not sure if I should go e5 or if that's a terrible idea after de6 followed by knight d5. Probably the truth is somewhere in the middle. It's probably not terrible, but slightly better for white if he takes and goes knight d5. So, not sure I should have done all this, but what's done is done. And one thing I've going for myself is that he can't go queen d5 because rook d8 traps the queen. But unfortunately, that was not his intention either. And I'm playing badly. Bishop e5, I think, was bad. Should have gone knight d6, be more humble. Because now if he takes and I get a queen d6, I'd be a happy camper. But if he takes on d6, I have a feeling I might be in trouble. Because b4, that one I had not seen coming at all. Interesting choice, but I don't think I like it. I might change my mind about this though. I promise my queen doesn't have a lot of squares here. After rook fc1, I saw it has one on a3, and I didn't calculate further, so it's a bit of a risky endeavor. Oh, this could end badly. This could end very badly. Strategically, I'm sort of fine with the knight on d6, but there's too many things going against me, like my queen being chased all over the place. And also, yeah, my king is a little weak. If the queen ever comes, I don't know. Bishop c4 looks like a pleasant surprise. He's trying to regroup his bishop, which is fair enough, but it gives me a little time to breathe. Might still be worse, but I'm happy that he went bishop c4. Rook c3, can I take? Whenever I can take stuff, I get all excited all of a sudden. Gimme. I can take, right? sure if I'll manage to keep the extra piece, but I'll certainly try. Yeah, I think Fradadi's messed up and is losing now. Sorry, Fradadi, you had a good position there, but I think something has gone very, very wrong. And yeah, he resigns. More excitement. I'll play Kruchikita. And see what happens. Good old Caro-Can. Haven't done the Caro-Can for a while. All of this mainline theory here, yeah. Bishop f4 is supposed to be harmless, so bishop d2 and long castle is what they do now. And yeah, I haven't done it for a while, so I'm not that booked up. I think knight e4 I'm supposed to take and go knight f6 and queen d5. But as I said, not that booked up, and Kruchikita seems to be booked up. So I probably shouldn't be all that thrilled with the way things are going. What am I supposed to do here? Go queen e4? I don't even know. Probably this is all theory. He's blitzing out stuff. I'm sort of clueless. But how bad can it be? In general, all these lines are supposed to be fine for black, but they're tricky to play. I once lost a traumatic game to Kayakin in this very line. Or not in this very line, but in a very similar position where my queen ended up on h7 and it was pretty much a spectator while he checkmated me. So I'm not sure if this is a great idea here, but after I went knight d5 I had no choice. Queen f5, g4, just give him an extra tempo. So I'm not sure, I probably shouldn't castle king side, but castle queen side. And see what happens. But Kruchikita has certainly put in his work in the Caro-Can. Goes f4. Yeah, I'll stick to my plan and castle here. Strange position. I don't really know what's going on, and I don't really know what to do. The feeling I'm a little worse, like not horribly worse, but this queen on h7 is not the most powerful piece on earth, and I don't have any obvious breaks. Like normally you want to prepare c5, but with the king on c8, that's not easy to accomplish, so I'll sit tight for now, see what happens. But yeah, I can't say I'm that thrilled about my position. Goes knight e5 when I feel it's time to make an active move. Once in a while, like every 10th move, I'm trying to make an active one, attacking this bishop. Let's see what he does about it. Probably goes rook d3 or rook f3. I'm trying to calculate here, rook d3, f6, what's going on, but I haven't gotten very far in my calculating efforts. He can go knight g6, and I don't see a way to win material, which is bad news, but his pieces are slightly more clumsy than earlier, so maybe I have some stuff to do. Maybe I can go for a breakthrough with e5. I should be alright. Rook e1 also legal. What do I do now? Could go bishop e5. fe and then try to grab a pawn, which I'm always intrigued by. I have a feeling as some compensation, but I can't see anything better at first sight, so I'll do that. Good old pawn grabbing instincts. Here they are. I'm hoping for rook g7, queen d1. That was my main line. I haven't considered alternatives. But if he can't do that, and he can't obviously, then at least I grab 2 pawns, and even though he has some compensation, I should be in good shape. At least that's more or less my reasoning. Go c4. Probably should take a timeout on every move. I'm concerned about d5 and queen takes a7. Here it comes. Yeah, I shouldn't have allowed that. But I have, and I'm going to have to live with the consequences. Could have thought about the consequences instead of just talking to myself and then taking there. Because now things really get a little dicey. I have to run. Ooh, doesn't look good. What have I done? No, running does not tempt me one bit. This also looks very ugly. Oh, I'm messing up again. A lot of drama. I don't see a direct way to win, but I have a very bad feeling about this now. Very, very bad. Can give a check and then another check. My king does not have a very pleasant home, and rook f6 is also a good move. What's going on? Rook e5. Can I go rook e5? Feeling it's checkmate somehow. Rook d6 or whatnot. Yeah, too risky. But everything's very risky. Problems. Don't see anything good, so I'm gonna have to do something bad. Did a bad thing. The problem is, at the very least, one of the problems, queen a8 followed by rook f7, when I'm not sure I'm surviving, but I couldn't come up with anything better. Ay, why am I suffering so much every game? I don't know. I don't like to suffer, but nothing's free. He was queen a4 check, which is also good. Why is everyone so strong? Ugh. Everything was bad. I just didn't have... Yeah, I've just messed up my king's position. Oof. I'm scared. Gives a check. Can I go here? He wants to give another check on a3. Maybe he spotted a perpetual, which would be unfortunate. Don't want a perpetual. Can I go here? It's probably a suicide, but... I do not want perpetual checks, so I'm probably gonna get mated. Hard to get away. You know what? Let's continue the suicide mission. Do we have this position already? I can't recall. Yeah, I'm playing for a loss with reasonably little upside here, but can't help myself. I don't know why I'm doing this. Oh, why do I pre-move this? The rook is on priest, so rook d6 check might have been a mistake, actually. I might be alive. Am I alive? I don't know. king is still a little alone in the dark. And did I just blunder my queen? Rook d6? Probably I did. But I do have very strong plan B intentions. Now I'm winning, but yeah, another huge drama against Kruchikita. Oof, tough fight. Need a breather, let's check in with the chat. And yeah, tomorrow Vaikanze is starting, excited about that. I'm gonna have to look up the pairings after. Queen takes d5 was made in 2, yeah, I have the feeling I allowed a couple mates there. I don't know, yeah, the main problem was allowing d5 earlier, that was really ridiculous. Who's tactical player? Grandmaster. I'm gonna play against Mr. Aronico from Norway. What time is it? Am I missing my movie? Ah, no, I still got time for like 2-3 games. Osteomax is asking, do I want to play a Mexican-German? I don't even know what that is. You mean your parents are half Mexican? Or you have one Mexican parent and one German parent? Or you mean you're Mexican and I'm German, and therefore if we played, it would be Mexico-Germany? I've already played Tex-Mex 22, right? It's a very Mexican show today, and I love Mexican food. When I was in California, I went to, what was it called? Yolo's, the Mexican restaurant in the corner, pretty much every day. Got my burrito. Love burritos. He plays bishop d2, not the most challenging, but a solid move, which one often encounters mainly by weaker players, but it's not because it's such a bad move. It's just not a very tricky try for an opening advantage here when they're faced with bishop b4 to break this pin. But it is a very solid move, and white can, of course, play like this. After a3, now I have a choice. I could actually keep my bishop, and I might do that. The most principled would be to take on c3 and then go knight e4. You know what, let's play normal. Let's take here and go here. Osteomax is Mexican and German. Rare combination. Where are you staying? You're in Mexico or in Germany? After bishop e2, I should probably take on c3, which objectively gives me a very good game because of his double pawns. While I've given him plenty chances to keep the two bishops here. But I'm somehow tempted to try to checkmate Aronico, which, yeah, objectively is not best. Or on any of the last 5 moves, I should have taken on c3. But I really want to checkmate him. And there, for checkmating purposes, I need this knight, and I need something to happen on this long diagonal. But it is not the correct way to play. Don't try this at home. Grab the bishop whenever you get a chance, then play c5 and enjoy the future. But I want to do bad things to him. I want to go rook g6 and knight g5 and somehow mate on g2. Might not happen, but that's what I want. I should probably go knight d2 and knight g5. Similar vein. If bishop b7, he could go d5 if he's sneaky. Aronico. Can I take on g2? Hang on. Bishop g2, king g2, rook g6. The problem is he goes f4, h6, h4. I'm not sure how much I like it. No, I'm getting crushed again. I just don't get my break. Can't catch a break, because now after d5, white is actually better than e5, f4, or knight e6, and this bishop is out of the game. Once again, things have gone wrong. Maybe instead of bishop b7, I should have played rook g6 here. There was a better move, knight e4, fe4, with maybe still roughly equal chances. Well, now, yeah, d5 is just better for white. I'm afraid. Very afraid. With good reason. Fulgus Aurelius has a friend who studies soap bubbles in Heidelberg. Whatever that is. Where's Aronico from? Ah, he's from Norway. Going for a deep think here. I should clearly go d5. It's really the only good move. Then e5. Ah, he doesn't. That's pleasant for me. Very good news, because now my bishop stays in business. But yeah, after d5, I didn't like my position all that much. While now, with the bishop on the long diagonal, I have a pleasant position, and I can revisit my dreams of checkmating him. Even though knight h3 is a good move, once again. Slowing down my checkmating dreams a little bit, but they're still alive. Still need some more resources for the checkmate to happen. And I think I should stop him from going f3. I try to keep this bishop long, but he can once again go d5. I don't know why I keep allowing d5. Now it's a better version for me after e5. Because his knight is silly on g2 and I have some play on the h-file, but still, why do I keep doing this to myself? Let's just call it a brilliant practical decision, because I could feel he was reluctant to go d5, and now with this monster bishop, bad things should happen to him. Probably will. Yeah, so the plan has worked, but not without a lot of anxiety along the way about ending up in a pretty bad situation. Now it's probably too late. Now the checkmate will be delivered one way or another, most likely, with rook h2, queen h6, queen h1. But yeah, I've had to gamble a little bit for this. I speak a bit of Spanish. I wouldn't call it fluent, but it's enough to order a burrito. The checkmate is looming. What are the words for that? Impending? Pending? Impending? Impeding? I have to broaden my vocabulary for the Vike show. So yeah, all's well that ends well, but it was a little stressful along the way. Mainly because I gave two chances to go d5 and block this bishop out, which now is quite a powerhouse on f3. So we've all learned a valuable lesson how to play badly and still checkmate. Last game for today, because I gotta go to the movies. I gotta go watch The Big Short. Christian Bale, Brad Pitt, Steve Carell. I enjoy Steve Carell. I thought he was fantastic in, what's it called? Foxcatcher, one of my favorite movies of last year. So I have high expectations, but I also had high expectations for The Revenant and was bitterly disappointed. So let's play one last game against, whom haven't we played? Here. Against Dan 91210. No, 910712. Not a strong player, 24-12. In general, in this session I feel like everyone played very strongly, even the guys who weren't super high rated. So let's see how this game against Dan goes. Do we go dc4? Let's go dc4. I've done this. As I said, the most trustworthy in my main repertoire is bishop e7 and so on and so forth, but I've played this so much in the previous shows that I need a change of scenery. I don't really like this line because I feel white has tremendous compensation for the pawn after e3. Consider this to be the best move, but it is a slightly messier position, and for the moment black is a pawn up, so it's a better winning attempt in a way against the Catalan. Goes e3. Queen c2. Queen e2 is more normal. Queen c2, the problem I would guess is that in some lines I can go knight b4 with tempo. So so far I'm happy with the outcome of the opening. I'm not sure if I had to go rook b8, but I always like clearing this diagonal at the first chance possible and also defending this pawn. No, I'm not sure where to put this bishop. Could make a case for bishop d6 or bishop e7 or even bishop b4, but I'll put it here for now. The problem is knight e5 is a little more unpleasant, while bishop d6 has a problem that it allows... What was I going to say? It allows something. He goes knight e5. When I have a tough decision, takes and knight g4 looks very risky. Takes and knight d5 is maybe objectively best, but a little sad. Knight b4 is the most ambitious, hanging on to the extra pawn, but positionally very risky. But I love my pawn, so I'll do this. Probably I should have gone bishop d6, not bishop e7. I'm not happy with how this went. But life still goes on. Queen goes back to d1, and I guess I'll just castle. No, he's not going to take on d7, so no need to pre-move that. He does take on d7, big surprise. I love bishops, but this was a powerful knight. Now I still have my extra pawn and c5 is coming, so I should be in pretty good shape. e4 is consistent, but also creates some weaknesses. Could go c5, but I'm more tempted by this move somehow. Now c5 looks more impactful. If he takes, I'll just go queen c7 and regain my pawn, or recapture my extra pawn. And I think I'm in good shape. Probably has to go d5, but also looks a little double-edged. I can just take here. I thought I was all right. If I have not missed any unpleasantness. We'll see. No obvious unpleasantness, at least. If that's a word, it's probably not really a word. Do I want to go here, or do I not want to go here? Looks tempting enough, I'll just do it. Problem is it blocks the square for the knight, and it's also a really nice square for the knight, but sometimes you can't have everything. To be a little careful about back rank trickery, but for now it's all covered. So yeah, I'm better, I'm a pawn up, but of course there's still a lot to play for. d1, do I go knight e5? Knight e5 is the first move that comes to mind. Or is bishop f4 a problem? It doesn't really threaten anything, so... Yeah, let's do this. Oh yeah, I'd even like to take and then put one of my many knights to d3. Could have done that immediately as well, actually. But in general, I have a pretty nice position. I can still take and go knight d3. Or I could just go bishop d6 or bishop d4. I'll take, why not? Yeah, black is seriously better. I guess he has to go bishop e3, but once again I'd have a lot of pleasant continuations. b4, didn't see that coming. Looks a bit like desperation. Everything seems good. Bishop f2 or bishop takes b4. Can't decide. I'll take this guy. Yeah, I'm winning, but still has to be handled with care, of course. That's good to be winning. It's nicer than being lost and having to handle with care. Wisdom. Queen c2. So many options, but if in doubt, I tend to grab pawns and then think. 3 pawns are 3 pawns, as they say. Okay, time to finish this game off. Probably not by going c3, even though I guess even c3 wins, but there's really no reason to panic. I'm just so winning. I guess he's gonna try bishop h6 at some point just to mess things up a little bit. No, he won't, but okay. Let's finish this game and go home, or go to the movies to be more precise. Didn't go well for Daniel. That's the advantage of these dc4, a6 lines. If white is not a specialist, then things can end up really, really ugly. But objectively, I believe those lines are quite scary. So yeah, it was a good session. I'm getting closer to the 2900, which I'm very excited about, because don't we all define ourselves by our ratings on Chess24? Thanks everybody for playing, for watching. I'm gonna go to the movies. I'll keep you posted on The Big Short. If you don't have anything to do tomorrow or really the next 2.5 weeks, tune in to our Vikings show with Fiona Style Anthony, yours truly, Peter Svidler, Lawrence Trent, Ilya Zarogatsky might join us, and I'm sure we're going to have exciting guests on Skype. I'm very much looking forward to it. Magnus Carlsen, Anish Giri, and many of the world's best slugging it out in the Tata Steel chess tournament starting tomorrow. Obviously, become a Chess24 premium member to participate in this show and play against me. Thanks everybody for playing. Have a good night. Enjoy your burrito, which is stolen from the Nerds, but I like it. Good night.